Welcome back to AM Live. I almost said just between us, AM Live. And I'm here with the lovely Velma Hall. And Velma, you are on Main Street in Ione at the Robin's Nest.
I'm in Robin's Nest. I moved my salon. I was in Plymouth, California. Because of the owner wanting to do renovations, I was forced to move my salon into a beautiful little salon called Robin's Nest with Robin Ornsby, and she is just amazing.
And she's wonderful. She's a wonderful lady. Please give her a big hug for me. I haven't
I
seen her in years, but oh, what a lovely woman she is. And
she's a sweetheart.
Yes.
She has been very gracious to me. And my clients have been really good to me, too. They have followed me. You know, there's a few that have dropped off, you know, to the wayside, which I totally understand. It is kind of a drive for some of them. So I am just plugging along now at Robin's Nest in Ione, right on Main Street.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So what could you do with this natural red hair?
Well, you know, it's
Don't laugh too loud, Velma. You're giving away my secrets.
You know, the one question I'm always asked every day is how many times I should wash my hair. Okay,
Right.
So there's 3 types of washers. There's the ones who wash their hair every day. There's the ones who wash their hair every other day, and then there's the ones who wash their hair like every 3 to 4 days, and then of course there's their once a weekers. Those are what we call LOLs, our little old ladies who get their hair done, wet sets. But if you're going to wash your hair every day, it's for people who have oily hair, you know, and they're in cities that live in cities that are very polluted. Their environment.
Very harsh water.
Yes, very harsh water. Well water is a killer for colored hair.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
It fades it really quickly. But you have to remember, if you're a person who does hair color on your hair, which I am too, you get to that 40 and over crowd, and then before you know it, you're dabbling in hair color. If you're going to do professional hair color, you need to use professional products, which would be your styling products, which would be your shampoos and conditioners that are for and specifically for color-treated hair. Keeps the hair from being dry.
Okay. Now, Velma, let me ask you a question. When I got out of high school, I became a beautician, so I know exactly what you're saying. But isn't it important that once in a while you have to change shampoos, especially hair conditioners and stuff, because it can coat the shaft of the hair?
No, people. That's a really big.
Oh, work with me, Velma.
It's it's a big misnomer. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes people you have to find your niche with your shampoos and conditioners, okay? And sometimes it will build up because of the water, okay?
That's
and
what
how
it is,
you
then.
treat your hair.
Okay.
Okay, so if you got well water and you're using a shampoo and all of a sudden it just doesn't work for you anymore, do yourself a favor and start dabbling first before you decide that this professional product doesn't work for you anymore. Try changing the temperature of your water, because if you use nice warm water to tepid water on your hair, that actually puts helps with the lathering. It breaks and it helps you rinse out the stuff in your hair, and it actually puts the shine in your hair. So hot water will actually make your hair really limp. So you got those girls who love their hot showers in the morning, and you know, and they're washing their hair with that hot water. Well, it makes your hair really limp, and before you know it, you're going through your day and you're going, I wonder how come my hair is just so flat. It just doesn't do what it's doing. And then if you're in the shower and you're washing your hair and you're going to finally rinse your hair, try to use cool to cold water, because it actually seals in all those ingredients that you put in your hair and with each individual strand, and it will give you that shine that you've lost.
Now let me ask you this, because a lot of people say, you know, they talk about all these different products out there, and I know they just don't work. It's just a gimmick, and you know, people use these styling gels, and they use the foam, and they use all these things, and basically they do work, but you've got to be able to do it the right way. You've got to get into bring it into the root and pull it out and give yourself the volume. Am I right?
Yes. What we need to understand is that all of us have a pH factor, and with hair it's 4.5 to 5.5, and that's one of the things they drill in you when you're in beauty college. So your pH balance is very important with your hair and your skin. So when you're using the professional products and the professional lines, you actually are helping your pH balance normalize and balance out when you're actually putting that stuff in your hair. And that's so important for people who have color-treated hair, perm, chemically treated hair, or just people who have, you know, they think that their hair is just lifeless. So when you're balancing out your pH balances in your hair, in your skin. It actually, everything just kind of flows together, and that's exactly what you want when you...
Now, can they come down to you and say, Velma, I'm done. I just don't know what to do with this mop anymore. And
yes.
you can actually take and feel the texture and feel the damage. You can see the damage.
You can see it.
And
a
lot
then I
of...
take my magic wand and poof.
There you go. And that's the best thing. And I see that you've got a lovely lady here with you today.
Well, you know what? A lot of people don't understand that when you go to beauty college,
there it is.
they call them doll heads, but they are it's real hair that we get trained on.
Right.
It's cadaver hair, so it's people that are transients probably that have died and no one has identified the body, so their hair is shaved off, placed into a doll head, so that way it's dual purpose, so it helps educate people when you think about it. But we learn to color treat, we learn to destroy the hair first on a doll head before we actually work on a human person.
Really?
Yes. You know that one too.
Yes,
we learn, yes,
very well.
Yes,
Very well.
and the one thing I do anyways, and I know there's a lot of people that are out in the world right now just starting to get into this. It's an organic line, organic color, organic shampoos.
Oh, great.
And that's one thing I do now, because I've had so many of my clients who've been afflicted with cancer, and I'm sure each and every one of us knows someone who has
Absolutely.
had one type of
Many.
cancer or another. And we have to remember that every time we put something in our hair,
It affects our body.
it affects our body, because what is it doing? It's hitting our skin. Everything is
Right.
hitting our skin, and our skin is the #1 little absorber, our sponges. So I've turned to an organic line, which is right here, this Color line, and it actually keeps the chemicals out of the body. It helps with that. I can't say that it doesn't take all the chemicals out of the body.
No, of course not. But then it also balances the pH.
The
And
pH, yes, you're
and
4.5 and 5.5.
There you go. .com, and that's for sure. So now tell everybody when you give them your phone number and tell them the days that you work.
Okay, I work Wednesdays through Saturdays for right now. Hopefully I can rebuild, and it'll be Tuesdays through Saturdays.
Great.
But it's usually 9 to 5. Okay, and sometimes I'm there till 6 or 7. It just depends. I try not to be there any later than that, because I try to have a life.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful little job if you've ever thought about it or even thought about considering being a hairdresser.
It
is
fun.
amazing. It's an amazing journey.
Except for prom day and New Year's Eve, I'll never forget. You're working from like 7 in the morning to like 7 at night. You don't go out New Year's Eve. You go home, your feet are like this.
Oh,
and
that's
you
why
say,
I have compression socks now.
That a girl. That a girl. Well, it's important to take care of yourself, because people don't realize
Yes.
how long you're on your feet and stuff. But when I went, now, you learn to do the facials and the manicures, the
Yes.
whole thing. And the beauty industry is really a lot of fun.
Oh, it's an amazing industry, and
It
you
is,
learn
and
a
there's
lot.
so much that you can learn about.
Oh,
You
I
learn
know
about your
a
hair.
minuscule amount, from what people, the field that I've gone into. When I was a national educator for Paul Mitchell Systems.
Wonderful.
And that was just an amazing,
How fun is that?
little
That's
ride.
a lot of fun. Well, I want to thank you so much. So get a hold of this lovely lady down at Robin's Nest and call her up and say, I want to talk to Velma, and make an appointment.
Yep.
Thank you so much. And please come
you.
back and let's talk about some holiday hairdos and
Colors,
things that are
yeah.
coming back.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll get on here and
Trendy.
schedule again, because women are interested in that. And so are men. Men are taking much better care of themselves, too. With that, we're going to take a short break. Velma, thank you. We'll be
you.
right back.